What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video. So y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all. So I had to pop out in these YouTube streets for this video. I always feel weird doing my intro when I'm like looking at the camera. Um, but yeah, y'all, look. So in the last video we did about Jaguar Wright and industry handlers and Drake and Lucian Grange, right? I said I wanted to react to another part of that interview. So, of course, um, I try to read as many comments as I can. I see a lot of back and forth about Jaguar Wright, a lot of different opinions about Jaguar Wright. And I wanted to do this video so we don't, skip over some of the things that she said in that interview. I don't like just making someone seem like they can't be fully like dissected, and there was a part in that interview where she talked about the Baphomet and the fact that she got a cover up of her original Baphomet tattoo, right? So y'all already know here on this channel we're about the truth regardless. I don't let much get past me, and like I said, I'm not gonna paint Jaguar Wright in any kind of light that you know like she's just 100% nothing is wrong. She's done nothing wrong, although she's been a part of the industry. So I felt it would be good to go ahead and do this video because I really want y'all to hear the clip. The clip is very interesting. It's stuff we spoke about on this channel. Of course, we've had multiple videos about the Baphomet on this channel. It's gonna definitely make me put the clip in this video of Pastor Stephen Darby because I believe he explained it the best in a video that is called the Transformation Guide. I think it's called like Transformation Guide and the Baphomet or something like that. Don't get me wrong, but he really went in on the topic. And every time we get into something about the Baphomet, I have to play that clip. It's just like, it's a must. It's a must. I don't care how many times I have to play it. It just perfectly explains what it is to worship the Baphomet and how it is branded on, people in the industry, people who choose to be the devil's son. And Jaguar Wright, she explained it very well. So before we get to really talking about everything, we'll go ahead and listen to the clip first, right? And get y'all opinions on it for the people that may have missed it. I know some of y'all saw it because I saw y'all in the comments saying, she has a Baphomet tattoo. She got it covered up. She's one of them. She's not fully, a part of us, blah, 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 right? So in this video, we'll go ahead and get into that topic. We'll also talk about the death of her firstborn child. And yeah, so with that being said, y'all, check this out.
Deeper, let's go a little spiritual.
Sure.
Off camera, you talked about your tattoo.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people about your tattoo? I find that very interesting.
My star,
Yes.
it's a cover up.
What's on the cover? What was before
It
the
covered
cover?
up the goat's mask that sat at the top of my spine.
What is that?
It was a Baphomet.
And for the people that don't know what that is, can you explain what that is?
It is a symbol that you are protected by the devil and that you are one of the devil's own. No different than Black China had.
Right. And what made you get this tattoo?
Protection.
Right.
I just wanted them to leave me alone.
And by having this tattoo, you were protected at the time.
Left alone.
Left alone.
They want you to wear their symbols. People don't understand that all of these things have a much greater meaning. They want you to feel loyalty. They want you to show the rest of the world that you believe in what they believe in.
Right.
They tag us. Those who refuse to be tagged get persecuted. Those who choose to go along with it, go along with it and pretend like it doesn't exist.
So, can I ask you, what was your moment of clarity to even want to cover it up? Like, what was that moment of clarity for you to say, no
My
longer?
son's dead body. There is no protection.
Are there any other tattoos that we normally look at and be like, oh, that's cool, but it really has a deeper meaning?
A lot. You have to pay attention to the house they're coming from. You have to pay attention to the way the tags are set up. Me, it was the mask and horns, and then he added the smoke to try to make it look like it was more cartoonish or whatever, but it was what it was. You start etching these things into your skin and your DNA, it becomes a part of you. There is a spiritual aspect to all of this that people aren't recognizing. You know, there's a reason why everyone's wearing so much red these days. There's a reason why all of these checkered themes are coming. These are all Masonic totems and emblems.
If you don't want to engrave your skin, is there anything else that you can do to your body that shows that you're part of this?
Hurt it. Or give it up to be hurt. You know, a lot of people that end up at these wild parties and in these wild ceremonies, because see, everyone's thinking freak off, freak off, freak off. But what you're not thinking is ritualistic human sacrifice.
Right.
Whether or not you're offering up your sexuality or offering up your life force. It's energy, it's transfer. So for Whitney Houston to be unalived in that hotel room and for him to wait to start the party right as her spirit was completely leaving her.
Wow.
Says a lot. You know,
And Jack, I was gonna say was, and even in the Piers Morgan interview, he was asking about what happens at these parties. You know, we've seen visual evidence to where, you know, again, Nature Boy is locked up for life, but he himself had visual evidence of him wanting to take advantage of a woman or make love or whatever you want to call it, while other women are dancing in the ritualistic dance around them.
These are all
I'm like,
spiritual
you see this?
seances. You got to understand these are practices that have been around long before they started choreographing society. We're talking about thousands and thousands of years. Things were happening here. It wasn't until the past 500 years that the world has gotten caught up into such wild, like nothing. Oh no, that's not real. That's fake. That's not real.
It's programming though. They started
It's
giving
very much
us,
so.
yeah.
MK Ultra. Cloning. Whether they're cloning consciousness or literally cloning physical body. And now we know they're capable of doing both. You know, we got movies called Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes. Prepping. They're only prepping our minds for what's
You got
what's really
TV
out there.
shows like The Walking Dead.
Right.
Like, is nobody paying attention to the fact that that show started in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta, where the CDC is?
Yes.
And there was a major outbreak. Apparently, there was a vaccine that it mutated, and then it turned everybody into this.
Now, here's my thing, right? And, you know, this is the part about Jaguar Wright having the Baphomet tattooed at the top of her spine, basically making a commitment to the devil. As Pastor Darby says in the clip that I was talking about, which I'm going to put right here on the screen as well. And, you know, it's just a quick clip. It represents your ability to be used by demons.
The Germans call the word propaganda in Germany meant mind rape. the mind raping of these youth are so strong and dominant, not just the youth, but everybody, but especially it's targeted at the young people who have not yet determined or not yet understood sexuality. So they're targeted because they have not yet gone through some of the things that many of us who are older have gone through with the order of right relationship, and because many of them have been abused and touched and molested, they are already got strikes against them in the sexual identity area. Y'all heard what I'm saying? But we're going to deal with this today because you need to know everything in the culture, everything you read, see, and hear is pushing one agenda. If you could decipher from all of the colors and the entertainment and the sports and all of that, you will hear one theme, and it is saying transform who you were created to be. Transform from who you were created to be into this other, to this higher consciousness, this corporate consciousness so this is what's being pushed. That's why you see stuff like black men graduate from college but don't get any recognition, but a gay boy can get in the NFL and the president call him. You want to know what's that agenda right there? Why we won't celebrate accomplishments of our young men becoming successful in life as far as the traditional roles of fathers and husbands? That's not even as celebrated, but we'll celebrate Quan graduating from her school. Something has happened to us. We have been mind raped, and we believe the hype. Remember Public Enemy had a song years ago said, don't believe the hype. He was talking about the media. Don't believe everything you hear and you see and you read. You are being spoon-fed what is another word that they have, not transformation, but transgenderism. That's why the homosexuals lettering is growing, LGBTQ XYZ, because it's going to keep getting longer, because you're going to have to keep adding other sexual perversions to that. LGBT, queer, Q, B, bestiality, P, pedophile. It's going to be a long, and everybody going to demand that they get to experience and explore their version of sexuality. There's something pushing it, and it's everywhere. It's in everything. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It is the religion of the Antichrist. And as much as we want to say we are aware, many of us are not aware, because we are allowing our children to download it all the time. And we ourselves are nodding our head to it. And that's the reason why. How did our rappers that was the epitome of what we knew as masculinity and being manly and masculine come to these long-haired, tight pants wearing Cory box? Where did that come from? How did we go from Run DMC with a manly look and Adidas and beards to this pants sagging, butt showing, frilly blouse wearing? What happened? Something has transformed us. And because the game of Satan is to entertain while causing you to swallow the poison, entertain you while causing you to swallow the poison. So you swallowing the poison because you're being entertained. The entertainment is poison, but because it's giving you a good feeling, you're swallowing it. Not understanding that the poison will activate when it gets down in your heart and your mind and begin to bring about the transformation, or transform you from God's will and plan for you into Satan's own image. Y'all there? All right, now, so I want to talk a little bit today. I'm going to call this Baphomet. the God of transformation. Now, this is what the some of you all who may study a little bit, you know, this is what the music industry and Hollywood industry is all dominated by. People are confused about it. You got so many truth seekers and people who don't really know, and just everybody's the Illuminati and they just look for symbols everywhere, and you know, but the real point of Baphomet, I'm gonna show you the symbol, and then I want you to understand that this is the symbol that every artist and every Hollywood actor and everybody has to agree with in order to be famous. You have to bow to this beast in order to be famous. Fame is not based on talent, it's based on your ability to be used by demons.
Now, a lot of people don't understand what they are getting themselves into when they enter the industry. That's how, like, most people are even able to see any kind of success before they figure things out for themselves. It's also a reason why they go for younger teens, younger kids, child stars like Orlando Brown. These kids that start their careers by doing those commercials that we were talking about in the last video with the, you know, with the people that are missing right on our television screens. So they start very young because they have no idea, you know, about this cult world that they are entering. And it was something very interesting that the interviewer asked her. He was like, what if the industry is just a giant sex cult and it's not even like the industry? Like, and I thought that was a good question because, like, what if that's exactly what it is? You know, like, obviously we know there's initiations. Obviously we know there are things you must do to be in that cult. But I just thought the question, you know, was a very good question in light of things that are coming out the way that they have been. When I started all this stuff, you know, going down this path of truth, of spiritual awakening, you know, I didn't see it happening the way it's happening today. You know, I think we all know and trust in God that all truth will be brought to light, but I just didn't see it happening the way it is right now. You know, didn't think I would be like this young in life and being able to experience this, but I must say it's a beautiful thing. And we should still, like, we should be happy for, like, the people that pursued this stuff for years. Like, we should be more than happy, more than excited that now we get to actually talk about this stuff because it's coming out now. It's not a conspiracy. It's not us sounding crazy and, you know, trying to convince other people. Now people are actually seeing the truth. And, you know, back to Jaguar Wright, you know, she probably wasn't aware the way that she is now when she got that tattoo. Or she could have been, you know, she could be telling the truth that she wanted protection. Or she wanted them to leave her alone. She wanted to commit to the symbolism, commit to, you know, the blood contract, so to speak. You know, all I can say is that at least she acknowledged it, and she's not hiding the fact that she got a Baphomet tattoo. She covered it up with a star. Not sure what star that is because they didn't show the tattoo. Someone in the comments said that it was a pentagram. You know, I can't see the tattoo. If y'all have the tattoo, she showed it somewhere, you know, let me know. But it's better than most who actually denounce it and speak about it, you know, compared to others who just have the tattoo. They don't mention it. They don't say why they got it. They don't want to tell you the pact that they made with the devil. So I can at least give her that. And, you know, she told you what it was, what it represent. And I thought that, you know, you got to be brave to do that, you know, because with her getting like a lot of national attention with all this stuff going on, she definitely still has no fear about telling her truth, or at least the things that she says she knows about the industry, right? And those things are very true, especially when she talked about, You know, the fact that they are able to clone your consciousness, clone you as a person. Y'all know we've went down that rabbit hole, you know, to a point where it has to be true. There's no way it's not true. You know, they're doing things that are unimaginable. Unimaginable, y'all. And it's still mind-blowing to think about it. It's still mind-blowing to think about it. So when I hear Jaguar Wright talk about those things, you know, it sits right with me. I wouldn't cover her if I just felt she was just a complete fraud. You know, everyone has their opinions, you know. It's not going to stop me from reacting to some of the things that she says, because it's stuff that I've even talked about, you know, before I knew it was true, you know. So, you know, on that note, it just is it is what it is. I'm not going to bring stuff to the channel that is just far out there and it's something that I won't support. I'm not supporting it for views. I'm not supporting it to boost my channel or anything. But, you know, I like to support the truth no matter who it comes from. That's why when I found the girl Allie Carter, I instantly wanted to post her message on my page because it's the truth. And that is what I support. That is what I'm about. And they even said the same thing. Remember, Allie Carter said that those aren't freak offs, those are ritual abuse, like sacrifice parties. And that's exactly what Jaguar Wright just said in that clip. So it's like when things start connecting from different people who are, you know, far apart from each other, that is like, okay, now, you know, I can get with that. I can share this message. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like my message for people that are in between back and forth, or who may say something to me because I'm sharing what she has to say. You know, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn. It's my channel. I can share what I want to share. But me being who I am, you know, I'm not sitting here like I'm not going to respond to you all crazy, because like I said, we all got our different opinions. And I appreciate everyone who comes to my channel and watch, you know, and actually engage in what's going on, because we are seeing things that I don't think any of us really thought we would see at this time. But more truth to be revealed. And I know this is not it. This is not all, y'all. So yeah, with that being said, y'all, look, so this video won't be that long, but I did want to react to that clip and you know, kind of finish off this little wave of Jaguar Wright responding to her going on the Piers Morgan show. All right, check this out. All right, y'all. So this is Jaguar Wright's firstborn son, Giovanni Wright. Now, for those of y'all who don't know or, you know, are not aware, we'll just go over his death really quick, right? In 2018, Jaguar's firstborn son, Giovanni Jackie Wright, was only 25 when tragedy struck. Just a few days after his birthday, he was shot and killed in Arlington, Texas. Around 1 a.m., police found him in a hotel parking lot with a gunshot wound. He was taken to a nearby hospital, but sadly, he didn't survive. Police believe multiple groups of men showed up at a birthday party at a hotel, leading to some going out to the parking lot to fight. Reports say Giovanni waved around a stolen handgun from Louisiana before putting it in his waistband. This seemed to escalate things when another person pulled out a gun and fired several shots at him. Giovanni returned fire, but it's unclear if he hit anyone. During the investigation, police pulled over a vehicle connected to the scene and found marijuana and a rifle, both reported stolen from Louisiana. This led to the arrest of Daniel Jackson Tuberville, Giovanni's cousin, who was charged with possession of marijuana. Giovanni's death left a huge hole in Jaguar's life and impacted everyone who knew him. Losing a child is something no parent should ever have to go through, and undoubtedly, Giovanni's memory remains close to her heart. 6 years later, there is still no arrest made in connection with Giovanni's death. In a heartfelt plea for action, Jaguar turned to social media to voice her frustrations and raise awareness about her son's case. She highlighted the need for justice and the importance of community support in bringing attention to his story. She said, this is from Jaguar Wright herself, when my son Giovanni was murdered 2 years ago in Arlington, a few things became crystal clear to me. Number one, nobody really cares, not even my own family. Number two, those who say they care have a funny way of showing it. And number three, the most important of all, is the fact that the Tarrant County DA office would rather let a murderer named Caleb go free than prosecute a murder that will uncover all of the corruption that exists in the Tarrant County public offices. So it sounds like Jaguar Wright is saying that she knows a guy named Caleb is the one who's responsible for killing her son. Now, this article is from 2018. He was 25 years old when he was shot and killed. Seems like he definitely has some stuff maybe going on in the streets. Who knows? They say he had a gun that was stolen that he had in his waistband that he used to fire back at whoever shot and killed him. Just with that description alone, it seems like it wouldn't be that difficult to solve the case. But it also makes me think about what Jaguar Wright said about having that Baphomet tattooed on her. She said, she did it for protection, for them to leave her alone. But then she realized there was no protection when she saw her son dead. So that made me kind of like, what were you actually wanting to be protected from? Because anyone that knows how the devil plays, there's no, that deal is not completely just sealed for you. At the end of it, you will always lose something. Somebody that you love is always going to be the cost of making a deal with the devil. Even if you did that deal for so-called protection, so-called for someone to leave you alone, or, these Baphomet worshipers at the top to leave you alone. For these Masons, these, demonic soldiers of the devil to leave you alone, whatever group she was talking about, which we all know where it comes from. So I think on that part, she was definitely a little naive to get that tattoo, to, bond yourself with that demonic energy and think that you would be protected, or think that the people close to you would be protected. It's like, what kind of protection were you expecting? You are the one that signed, you are the one that made that commitment. And the way she responded and said, she covered it up. She's like denouncing it. She's like, fuck that shit. I'm not rocking that on my skin no more. I'm covering it up because my son wasn't protected. I made a bad deal, and now my firstborn son is dead. Until this day, no one is paying the consequences for that death. And we all know how that goes. So I thought that was very interesting when she said that. And the look on her face, to me was a little bit reluctant to even answer those questions, because when the interviewer asked her about the spiritual side of it, she had a different tone. She had a little bit different body language there. But yeah, y'all, we'll go ahead and wrap this video up here. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover recently with Jaguar Wright. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. I know a lot of y'all already voiced y'all opinions about some of this stuff, but I figured in this video we'll actually get into, the death of her firstborn son and a little bit more on the spiritual side of Jaguar Wright. Yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. It's Sunday. Y'all already know how we do it. I'm going to end this video off with about a 2 to 3 minute clip from Pastor Darby going in a little bit more about the history of the Baphomet, right? So yeah, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.
All right. let me give some history. To begin with, the word Baphomet is significantly older than this particular symbol, which is what I showed you. In the early 14th century, the Knights Templar, remember that word, study that. The Knights Templar, one of the most powerful and influential organizations of the European Middle Ages, were brought to trial on numerous charges, including fornication, sodomy, blasphemy. So you used to get judged for sodomy, blasphemy, and heresy. Although many historians now believe that the charges were largely politically motivated and an attempt to confiscate the organization's considerable wealth, one of the charges leveled against the Templar was worshiping the idol of a satanic creature called Baphomet. Now, you got to understand, the Templars is where the Freemasons come from. They went underground because they got persecuted out of Europe. They went underground, they became the Rosicrucians, and then from there they became the Freemasons. So this is the same evil order. Y'all got what I'm saying? Now, it says that, please tell me that y'all cut that heat off. The Templars were eventually arrested, tortured, and killed, and the organization was disbanded, but the Baphomet still lingered on. Now, they wasn't all killed off. They went underground. Matter of fact, they fled into like Scotland, and that's where you see Freemasonry really get its foothold. That's why the first part of Freemasonry is the Scottish Rites. Okay, that's where it took hold of in Scotland, but these are just the Templars. Now, what you need to understand, the reason why they got persecuted was because they found out what they built this temple, and they found out what they were doing in the temple, and they were in there having sex with boys and in there doing sodomy. And they thought they were holy, doing something holy, but they were really, and if you really want to know what they look like, if you remember any of the old Crusade movies, you remember the Crusaders had the cross, like they look like knights with the cross on the, with that white, with the red cross. That's what the Templars look like. Now these cats were doing, they were in there doing a lot of sexual things, and people found out about it, and they were persecuted out from where they were. Now, they worshiped this image. That was the image they worshiped, the image Baphomet. That's the same image in the Freemason Lodge. The Freemasons worship the same image.